Have you ever heard of mitochondria? Well, listen in as I give you the lowdown on what they are, what they do, and how to support them to improve your metabolism.
Are you struggling to keep your head above water and brushing aside how you physically feel? You know you need to do something to feel better, but what? Nothing's working and you're about to give up. I hear ya. I'm Jolene, a nutritional therapy practitioner, a wife, and a furry guardian. Like you, I let my work and everything else get in the way of health, often chasing skinny instead of health until I learned how the body worked. Welcome to Holistic Health Made Simple, where I share all the tips, tricks, and science to set you free from the overwhelm of diet culture and frustration with the ever-changing health rules, going beyond the calorie and diet dogma to equip you to be healthy through simple changes to food, mindset, and lifestyle. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and learn how to feel better with changes that work for you, results that are undeniable like more energy, improved mood, better sleep, and fat loss, this is the podcast for you. Pop in those headphones, take a deep breath, and let's get healthy.
Hey there. Today, we are going to take a look at mitochondria. If you've never heard of them before, well, that's okay. Many haven't. And when people actually talk about mitochondria, it often gets to that graduate level sciencey where most of us, our eyes just glaze over. But don't worry. I'll break down what they are simply, and then we'll focus mostly on supporting them. So what exactly are mitochondria? They are like these little powerhouses of our cells. Think of them like little energy factories. They take all of our nutrients and then turn them into adenosine triphosphate, which is often abbreviated as ATP, which is basically the energy our cells use to do all the stuff our body does. So think of mitochondria as these hard-working energy wizards, making sure your body stays charged up and ready for action. A really cool fact about mitochondria is that they have their own unique DNA that's completely different than the DNA of the cells where they reside in. So mitochondria are inside cells, our body cells. So our body cells have our DNA. Mitochondria has their own DNA. They're kind of like their own little beings. So it's kind of weird. We have a whole nother body inside of us. Think of it that way. It's kind of creepy too. But these little things are really important to us overall. Besides energy, they also produce heat that keeps us warm, and they also help with weight management. You see where I'm going with all this? When they produce heat, they are breaking down and calling for more to be produced. They're like, hello, it's cold. I need to break apart the bad stuff that's not warming up the body and waving and making more of them. This is where brown fat comes in. And you probably never heard that we have two kinds of fat in our body. But most of the production of additional mitochondria happens in the brown fat. So let's get back to what brown fat is. We have two types of fat inside of us. So we've got white fat, which is the common fat that we all think about. It's the stuff that's really close to the skin, and it's basically where all our excess energy is stored. So when we're looking to lose fat or shed weight, it's the white fat we're looking to lose. We're looking to shed all of that because that's where the problems arise. That's also our visceral fat. White fat is visceral fat and the stuff close to the skin, your stomach, your thighs, where all the dimples are. So think of that as not bad fat, but the fat we're trying to lose. Then we have brown fat. Brown fat accumulates mostly around the back of the neck, the upper back, and around vital organs. Now, when I say vital organs, I'm not talking about the visceral fat that we just talked about, which is white fat. Brown fat is different. Its location near all the vital organs allows it to contribute to maintaining a stable internal temperature and potentially protecting organs from extreme cold. Brown fat is your body's own little thermostat. It helps maintain temperature by producing calories and also by producing heat through a process called thermogenesis. Now, we don't have to really go into anything like that, but think of brown fat as a protective layer around our organs. It generates heat. It also helps burn up calories. So think of it that way. Brown fat is kind of like good fat. White fat, too much white fat is bad fat. That's the fat we want to get rid of or convert into brown fat. We want brown fat. Okay? I know It's hard to admit that we want a certain amount of fat on our bodies, but our bodies do require to have a certain amount of fat. So you might be thinking, why do I actually need to know all this? Well, bottom line is you might not. But I believe that when you know what you're trying to influence and improve, it gives you a strong reason why to make those changes. You want to get healthier. You want to achieve and maintain a healthy weight. Well, having the knowledge of why we're changing things, how the body works, will help strengthen your reason why to make these changes. For some, even with knowing why and what you're doing, it's still a struggle. Doing it alone for many is a struggle. So why not join a community to get you set up on the right foot forward? Would you rather just work on the habits of eating clean, moving your body? Well, then head on over and sign up for the waitlist for the next Clean Eating Challenge, where I will combine clean eating, moving your body, and habit building all together. The next one's going to start in a couple weeks, so you're going to want to sign up now so that you get first notified of when it's going to happen. You can sign up at holistichealthmadesimple.com/clean-eating-challenge, and as always, that will be linked in the show notes. This will help you improve your mitochondria, improve your metabolism, improve your health, and help you reach that healthy weight. So you're not going to want to miss out on this challenge. It will be $10. It will be a full 4 weeks. So there will be prizes. You're not going to want to miss it. So head on over, join the waitlist so that you get notified when we have the next one, which is really coming up in 2 weeks. Now, for those of you who are really interested in mitochondria, let's get back to it. They are the things in your body making energy. You know, the things we like to refer to as calories out. The more mitochondria we have and the healthier the mitochondria is, the more energy we produce. You see how this all ties back to metabolism and getting healthy? There is a lot to learn about mitochondria, but as average people, we don't need to know that much about them. We need to know that they're there, and then we need to know how to make them work as efficiently as possible and grow as many as possible. We basically want a lot of mitochondria, and we want them working as efficiently as we possibly can. We want that brown fat raising our temperature, which is a byproduct of mitochondria. We want to burn energy. It's all there for the taking when we do a few things and adjust our habits and our eating. We'll start with the basics of improving mitochondria, and then we'll touch on a few biohacks. The biohacks are a little more advanced, but it's also going to explain why you've been seeing some of these trends around so much. So first up is moving that body. One of the most effective types of exercise to improve mitochondria is the HIIT workout, the HIIT, high intensity interval training. They are like a turbo boost for the mitochondria, but honestly, any movement will help. But don't think you have to do a couple hours of HIIT workouts. You can do 20 to 30 minutes. That will still help your mitochondria, will help your overall health, your cardiovascular health. Remember, mitochondria are in every cell of the body. So they help our organs. They help us burn fat. They help everything. So we want a lot and healthy mitochondria. So moving that body is the biggest way to improve our mitochondria health. And then it comes down to eating the rainbow. Mitochondria love antioxidants. So that means colorful fruits and vegetables. They are jam-packed with antioxidants. So try to include some daily. You don't have to eat in abundance. You want to include a little bit. Also, go for the deep reds, the purples. They tend to have a lot more of the polyphenols and the antioxidants that help boost the health of our mitochondria. So along with eating the rainbow, we want to get in our healthy fats. Healthy fats turn into fatty acids, which mitochondria thrive on. So it's really important that we're getting in those healthy fats. Add in some olive oil, avocado oil, eat some avocados, olives, nuts, fish. They'll all support your mitochondria in a healthy manner. And now we get into some lifestyle factors, things like intermittent fasting. When we don't eat, we give everything in our body a break, including our mitochondria, and that's where they do their maintenance. When our body doesn't have to digest, it's doing its maintenance. And when our mitochondria are doing their maintenance, that's when they produce more. They duplicate themselves. It's called uncoupling, is where they remove a proton and then they couple with another one so that mass produces more mitochondria. And the next two, along with almost everything, comes up all the time. You want to reduce stress. Meditate, pray, yoga, breathwork, all will help in reducing the stress. Reducing the stress takes away the stress on the mitochondria. It just is a win-win situation. You also want to get that sleep in. Work on getting your quality sleep, 6 to 8 hours. Find a nighttime routine that gets you into that habit of getting that good deep sleep. Now we're getting into some that might be considered biohacking. Adding in capsaicin or spicy foods. That breaks down the mitochondria, that uncoupling I touched on briefly, and helps them replicate themselves so that there's more of them. It increases the mitochondria in our system. Utilizing ketosis for periods of time. And I know that's scary for a lot of you because you've heard a lot of the negatives or that it's a fad diet. Being in ketosis is a natural metabolic state. Your body should technically be able to flux in and out of ketosis, basically going from a fat burner to a carb burner rather easily. So getting into ketosis for periods of time, it will encourage the production of more mitochondria. It increases your metabolism. So it's a win-win all the way around. Now, you don't have to stay in it forever. There's a lot of myths about ketosis, and maybe that's a podcast for another day, but you can fluctuate in and out or flex in and out, so that you get the best of all worlds. And that's what we want our body, is to have the best of everything. The last one is definitely a biohack. It is cold exposure or cold plunges. This, people, is why so many are doing these cold plunges. You see them jumping in ice baths or telling you to take cold showers. It's for multiplying mitochondria. It basically helps turn white fat brown. I don't know if there's any studies on it. That's what I've heard. But it is known to help multiplying the mitochondria, which probably does give you a little bit, or does a little bit in turning white fat brown. So it's not bad, but it's not for the faint of heart. Diving in an ice bath is kind of not fun, at least on my path. Taking a shower and having the last couple minutes in the morning cold is beneficial. Now, you might be thinking, what the hell? You just told me don't worry about cold plunges and then you're telling me to take a cold shower. No, take your normal warm shower when you get up in the morning. Take 2 to 3 minutes at the end of the shower, throw it on cold, but build up to it. Do 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and then keep building up to it. All the way on cold. Drench it over your body. Stay in there. That actually does 2 things. It helps with your thermostat, your internal thermostat, or the brown fat. It's like the cold exposure I was talking about. That's one of the things. But what it does is, you might be thinking, I'm cold in the morning, I don't want a cold shower. By turning on your thermostat, it actually warms your internal body temperature, so you get warmer faster, which seems counterintuitive, but it's actually how the body works. So it's kind of weird. So there you have it, the mighty mitochondria, ways to get more and keep them healthy. That's what we want. It's all about creating a healthy lifestyle that is friendly to the efficiency and production of mitochondria. And on that note, friends, I will see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening in today. I hope you got some nuggets to take on your health journey. Remember, this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes. No medical advice is being given. By listening to this podcast, you agree to the full disclaimer, which is linked in the show notes. If you found this podcast helpful, could you take 30 seconds and leave a review? Your feedback means the world to me, and it helps others discover my show. Once again, thank you for being part of my community. Until next time, have a blessed day.